Hi guys. Okay, so my computer's still a little messed up, so it's going to be a super easy, not fancy video at all. I'm not really good at it anyway, so it wouldn't have been that fancy, but here it is. My project is about how social media is affecting journalism and changing it and making it into something that it should never have been. So here goes. Journalists have always been accused of digging too deep into the personal lives of their subjects, whether they be celeb status or not. Before journalism was an everybody job, the trained select would spy, snoop, and dig around, getting their hands and reputations dirty to get the real scoop behind leading headlines. But that was then, this is now. Journalism before social media versus journalism now is a totally different game. And my video is going to illustrate how social media has done more harm than good for journalists and journalism by looking at 3 different points, which are digging too deep without any context, the amount of effort put into the article, and the credibility of the article and the journalists themselves. So the first point, digging too deep with little to no context. Journalism is defined as providing the facts of an event in a fair and unbiased way, allowing the reader to gain information that is untainted by the opinions of the reporter or the newspaper's editorial staff. In order to do this job properly, certain skills and efforts must be made. Basic skills necessary to be journalists are love of writing, passion for the truth, reliable instincts, a natural curiosity, basically an eye for news and human interest. Back before everyone with a keyboard was a journalist, and back before Snapchats and Facebook and Twitter and Instagram was all used as sources, journalists followed their subjects, making assumptions but using the 5 basic human senses, void of the magical 6th sense of technology, to figure out the truth. A prime example of prime journalism used is Princess Diana. When papers reported examples that Princess Di had an eating disorder, it wasn't because she was thin, it was because they watched her, they followed her, they monitored her, and it was true. When alleged rumors that she was pregnant came out, it wasn't because she had gas, or she had a little beer belly on the beach, or she had a burrito and had a food baby. She was actually pregnant. Reporters borderline stalked her to get the scoop, and they always got it right. With mere face value digging, social media as a journalistic source allows for journalists to creep on a Facebook status, go through some tweets, and judge Instagram photos without thinking of the context in which they were posted. Sad song lyrics don't mean a breakup, a photo in front of a liquor store doesn't mean underage drinking, and a girl holding money in her hands doesn't mean a hooker or a stripper or any of that weird stuff. Social media mixed with news networking creates one sensation that we're all very familiar with, and that's tabloids. Everything is circumstantial and derived from hackers' post photos, song lyric posts, and sarcasm. Sarcasm doesn't translate well, and people just take it as it is without really realizing that it's sarcasm. Tabloids. News stemming from nonsense. News stemming from misinterpretations. That's all it is. This leads to the next point of social media creating lazy journalism. So, point number 2. I've decided to call it zombie journalism, because we all know my love of zombies. We've known it since week 1. And because social media is creating zombie-esque reporters, people can just click, log into Facebook, click, search subject's name, click, what's this? Sad song lyrics. Right before they died. Clearly it wasn't a murder. This is suicide. That's what they do. Is that accurate? No, most likely it's not accurate. Actually, it could have been Subject Y's favorite band came out with a new song, and it happened to be their status that day. Zombie journalism. Unlawful usage of social media as sources, and or the face value usage of information because one is too lazy to actually research subjects and make phone calls. Simple enough. When looking for valid sources, social media is absolutely not one. If you can recall our lesson on catfish, we all know that Facebook profiles are not exactly the most truth-reliant places. Social media is a place where people can invent themselves to be seen as what they want others to see them as. I could be whatever I wanted to be. I could make a profile and be a 17-year-old boy, or a 60-year-old woman, or, I don't know, I could just be a fan page for some random cat. That's fine too. But it doesn't necessarily have to ring any truth, and that's the point I'm trying to make. When journalists use this type of information as a source for an article, most of them don't read deeper into the context that they're seeing. They don't look for explanations or reasoning. They look at the post itself as a fact with no other meaning other than what they're seeing. So, a great example of this, and one that just frustrates me to no end, is that recent thing about Kendall Jones. For those of you who don't know who she is, she's a cheerleader down in Texas. She's also a hunter. And when I say hunter, she's like a big game hunter. She hunts like bears and elephants and lions and all that good stuff. So Kendall's been in the news because reporters and journalists, predominantly citizen journalists, pulled photos from her hunting profile on Facebook and made them out to be what they wanted them to be as opposed to what they actually were. People got offended by what she can do and her skill with a gun and the fact that she's killing pretty animals and decided to make it something insane. Kendall posted a lot of pictures with the animals that she killed, and as a hunter, I respect her because she doesn't break any rules. She's not breaking any laws. She's not killing anything unlawfully. Most of her hunting is done on reserves and stuff where it's meant for hunting. You're supposed to go there to hunt these kind of animals. It's for people who are sick of hunting deer and stuff and want to hunt big animals. So that's where she goes to hunt. She followed the rules completely as far as hunting is concerned. Unfortunately, she posted some photos of her with her dead game, and it was upsetting. Yeah, I don't want to see a dead lion because it was a beautiful lion. But what makes it hard to defend is that she posted one very controversial photo of her next to what appears to be a dead white rhino. And white rhinos, for those of you who don't know, are an endangered species. But newsflash to all the citizen journalists gone rogue activists out there who have seemingly forgotten how to read at a 4th grade reading level. It's not dead. The rhino is completely alive. People just assumed and continued to share things and post things and make their own comments and create articles that got spread everywhere. But go back to her profile and read the caption of the photo. Do some research. The animal was tranquilized, so the people on the reserves and stuff could tag it and get DNA and try to help the animal not be endangered. She did something good, but people took it and made it awful. The point is, no one thought to fact check. No one wanted to read more into it. Everyone just rolled with it, and countless articles spanned from it, as well as petitions and hate mail towards this girl, trying to ban her from Facebook, ban her from hunting, get her kicked out of college, all this other crazy crap that did not need to happen. The worst part is people got it all wrong with effortless ease. It would have been one thing to screw it up with a lot of effort. If you're going to go out with a big bang and really screw up. But these people just glanced at something and wrote about it. That's it. No effort intended or wanted. In a recent study by ING and SMIG, journalists were polled and studied, and here's 2 of the most unjournalistic things that I found in that study that kind of relate to all of this. The first is that fact-checking has become less thorough. Publish first and correct if necessary is the motto these days for publications. Only 20% of journalists always check their facts before publishing, and almost half of journalists said they published most of their stories as quickly as possible to correct later if necessary. But let's be serious, we're going to post something online, we're probably not going to go back and correct it. I know a lot of my stories, I post for my internship, they get posted and I never look at them again. I'm not really going to go back and read some comments and be like, oh, I have to fix this. I should. I really should, and I'm going to start now because I'm embarrassed I even said that. But the point is, do now, fix later. Fix later never happens. And the next thing is that user-generated content, such as tweets and pictures or videos from bystanders, is already widely used in news media and is expected to grow exponentially in the future, which means there's only going to be more of this happening. This makes journalists lazy. This is making an army of zombie journalists. This is ruining journalism. It's not being done right. And the last point is credibility. I promise we're almost towards the end. All in all, points 1 and 2 mixed together to create the biggest problem that there is, and that is a lack of credibility. News used to be about reliable sources and about credibility. It used to be about getting information that you could trust, no hidden agenda, no other thing behind it, just effort, hard work, and truth. Well, now it's just about click counts. It's about who gets the most shares on Facebook. It's about whose story goes viral. Content's taking a backseat to clicks. And we're in a society where unborn babies have Facebook pages. If you're interested, she goes to Tummy University and enjoys soccer and swimming. And we're in a society where stories about celebrities who died or whose death was a hoax, example Paul Walker, go wrongly viral. What are facts? Not shares and click counts, so facts don't matter, that's for sure. We're in a society where Snapchat is also being used to fight crime. Where tweets about government conspiracy theories are more reliable and more researched and used as resources than the president's actual speech about a certain topic. It's not right. Journalism is one of the few things that I'm very passionate about, and from that passion comes this lecture of an essay that I just made. I would do anything to fix it, but all I can do is keep writing, keep killing front page articles, and keep trying to make an example of classic journalism out of myself. No tweets or Facebook shares necessary. So that's my essay. Thanks for listening. I'm going to post all of the links and stuff to everything that I mentioned or use as a source in a separate document. Thanks.